And since you did not actually participate, it means that you do not have personal knowledge of these stages of the investigation, correct?
During that time, yes, but as I mentioned earlier, I read the investigation report.
So your knowledge of the investigation was based on only of your reading.
That is absolutely correct,
All right.
and upon the discussion of the investigating
Okay,
officers.
very well. Now, were you present at the November 23, 2024 press con?
I was not present.
You were not
I was
present.
not participating on that.
And if you know, was any NBI agent present at the November 23, 2024 press con?
Not that I know.
None. All right. So in layman's terms, for the benefit of this honorable court and the Filipino people watching, and I'll phrase my question in Tagalog. So sa kabila po ng pagtestigo po ninyo ngayong araw, inaamin nyo ba na wala kayong personal na kaalaman sa nangyaring investigation starting November 23, 2024?
Malinaw naman po yun. At ang korte po, I can take judicial notice of the fact na hindi pa po ako NBI director ng panahon na yun.
So you're confirming that you do not have personal knowledge because you were only appointed as NBA director a year later or on February 20,
Your Honor, ask and
2026,
answer
correct?
question.
No, I haven't even asked that question, Your Honor.
Kindly let counsel finish.
So again, I will repeat. So the reason for this is that because you became NBI director only a year later or on February 20, 2026, correct?
Tama po.
All right. Okay. So prior to February 20, 2026, you do not have any personal knowledge of any investigation, correct?
Nababasa ko lang po sa balita mga pangyayari.
Which is not personal knowledge, correct?
Well, yun lang po yung knowledge natin.
You're a lawyer, correct?
Tama po, 29 years.
29 years. Can you recall Rule 130, Section 22 of the Rules of Evidence?
Can you refresh me, sir?
Okay, I will
Because you have a
gladly
copy.
refresh you, of course. I have here a copy of Rule 130, Section 22 of the Rules of Evidence, and I'll read it. Please read with me, Director Matibag. Testimony confined to personal knowledge. A witness can testify only to those facts which he or she knows of his or her personal knowledge, that is, which are derived from his or her own perception. Can you recall that rule now?
Ayan po, nababasa ko po.
Okay, you
Tama
can read
po.
it. All right. So, based on this rule, will you agree with me that a witness can only testify based on his personal knowledge?
Your Honor, may I comment to that?
These are basic questions, Your Honor. The witness is a lawyer. He is competent enough to answer.
Counsel, are you making an objection?
This is a comment, Your Honor. The witness repeatedly testified that he was appointed only in February 2026 and that all his testimonies pertaining to the first investigation are based on records, Your Honor. And this is allowed. As a matter of fact, under the rules, entries in official records are considered as prima facie evidence of the contents thereof. And thus, it's exactly the basis of the witness in answering the question of the defense.
So-
All his knowledge pertaining to the first investigation are based on records.
Short rejoinder, Your Honor.
No need, counsel. Distinguished lead prosecutor, the counsel for respondent did not object to the line of questioning of the lead prosecutor earlier, based exactly on the ground cited by the lead prosecutor. The presiding officer will give sufficient leeway to the counsel for respondent to establish his point. I think you also see what he is trying to establish. That's why he made a continuing objection in relation to it. I'll give you some leeway, counsel, but go to your next topic as soon as you're done with this.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, again, based on this rule, a witness can only testify based on his personal knowledge, correct?
Tama po, pero meron pong mga exceptions sa rule
All right.
niyan.
Okay. If not based on personal knowledge, then that is hearsay, correct?
But it's not an absolute rule po dahil may exceptions nga po.
Okay, now, I'm trying to look for the Filipino term for hearsay. Ano ba yung hearsay sa Tagalog? Sabi-sabi or chismis? Is that a fair translation? What is a fair translation to you of hearsay?
Your Honor, the question of the defense is misleading. He never testified that that is hearsay.
No, I'm not
As a
asking
matter
him-
of fact, he's trying to raise the exception to hearsay.
I'm not asking about the exceptions of hearsay. I'm asking a translation of hearsay. Your
May
Honor.
we know-
Anyway, I'll move on to...
If the witness
If the
knows, if he does not know, he may say so.
Hindi ko po alam kung anong translation dito sa Tagalog.
Okay, so I'll just use my own translation, chismis. Anyway, at any rate, kung wala kang personal knowledge, chismis lang yon, tama?
Hindi ko naman po naririnig sa korte, ako'y nag-practice din, kahit na-translate sa Tagalog, kahit minsan ko po, hindi ko po narinig ng hearsay ginamit ang salitang chismis.
Alright, I'll move on. Now, permission to use a pointer, Your Honor. Now, it appears that from this document
Counsel may do so.
that your wife is one of the endorsers of this House resolution. Can you confirm that?
Yes, the name is sir.
It's there. Okay. Now, there's a signature page also. This document is not numbered, but it appears that it's around page 19. Can you confirm if this is your wife's signature?
I think I have no authority to confirm the signature even if she is my wife.
So you can confirm the signature of your NBI agent but not your wife?
It's appeared to be her signature, but I have not confronted with the document so that I can compare it.
At any rate, Your Honor, may we allow?
With the NBI, it's different. I testified earlier that it was presented to me, and I asked him if he signed it, and I'm familiar to his signature because he's always making submission to my office.
Right. That's okay. At any rate, Your Honor, may we allow may we request, Your Honor, that we be allowed to submark this particular portion. Again, this is already
May we
part
request,
of the
Your
records.
Honor, that the witness be confronted first with the document, and
We
may
will
we
do that,
request
Your
as well that the assisting counsel for the prosecution be allowed to approach.
We will do
Assisting
that, Your Honor.
counsel for the respondent may please confront the witness with a document in the presence of assisting counsel for the prosecutor before counsel for respondent requests it to be marked. Witness will kindly look at the document and answer their question.
May I first manifest, Your Honor, that the photocopy, the document being presented to the witness is a photocopy.
Your Honor, if at all we can agree that the court's copy be submarked, Your Honor. And we request, Your Honor, that the first page that we showed and this signature page around page 16 be submarked, even at later, Your Honor, before the.
It shall be done at a later time. In the meantime, by the oath of respective counsels, I believe we can rely on this copy, subject to confirmation in the marking of the actual copy that the court has.
And
You're referring to the impeachment resolution on impeachment, right?
yes, Your Honor, but Your Honor, insofar as the identification of this witness, we are relying actually on the transmittal by the Committee on Justice, which was received by your office on May 11, 2026, Your Honor.
Not
So
by
it is-
my office, but by the Secretary General of the Senate. Kindly confront the witness with the document so that he may answer intelligently.
If you know only, Director
Your
Matibag.
Honor, respectfully,
That is the
if I may say something, if the court
Yes,
will allow me.
Director Matibag.
In order to save time and the questioning of the defense counsel, I think he's going to the position if my wife endorses the article of impeachment so that we save time and it's on record. It's a matter of public notice. Yes, my wife is one of the endorsers of the impeachment.
Duly noted. Counsel, move on.
All right, thank you for that admission, Director Matibag. And despite that spousal relationship that you admitted, you decided to appear and testify today, correct?
My decision to be a witness is by virtue of a subpoena issued by the Honorable Court and by invitation of the Committee on Justice to the prosecution. However, the job of my wife as a legislator is totally detached from me being the director of the National Bureau of Investigation.
Okay, my next question is, but the court did not issue a subpoena for you to appear today.
Actually,
Are you saying that you receive a subpoena despite this honorable court not issuing a subpoena for you?
even if there's no subpoena in the pre-trial order, I was mentioned to be a witness, and I was invited by the prosecution to be a witness. And from my understanding, in the pre-trial order, I was also listed by the defense. I will be gladly witness for the defense as well if I will be called upon.
All right, but which is which? Are you appearing today by virtue of a subpoena or without a subpoena?
I'm appearing today as a witness, as called upon and announced by the Honorable Court and by the invitation also of the
No, that's
prosecution.
not my question, Director Matibag. You're a lawyer, you know this. Are you appearing today by virtue of a subpoena or no subpoena?
There's no written subpoena, but there is a verbal announcement from the Honorable Court that I will be a witness in today's hearing.
Your Honor, the question of the defense is misleading. It is apparent that last week a subpoena was issued to the witness, Your Honor, and it is because of the other matters that was heard and addressed by the impeachment court. The schedule of the witness was scheduled to today.
Your Honor,
The objection is overruled. First, asked and answered, and for the record and information of the senator judges, the presiding officer confirms that no subpoena was issued to Director Matibag. In fact, I asked if one was needed, and the response I got was that it was not necessary. But indeed, the chair also confirms that the name of Director Matibag was requested to be invited by the by the prosecutors, and he was so named by the presiding officer to attend in, I believe, yesterday, supposedly, and today's trial dates. Move on, counsel.
just one last question on this point. So,
Yes, counsel.
considering that there's no subpoena, I'm just wondering how it works. Did you coordinate with any of the prosecutors in relation to your appearance in today's proceedings?
We conducted some meetings on this matter.
You mean prior to your appearance to this honorable court, you met with members of the prosecution?
Yes, twice when I was informed that I will be a witness on the pretrial order
All right. Did you meet with the private prosecutors or the public prosecutors?
with the chairman of the committee, with the Congresswoman Jerviller.
And you are confirming in open court that you discussed or you were briefed in that meeting based in your testimony? What was the what? Okay, you can explain.
Well, I'm a lawyer and I know where you're going. There was no discussion or coaching. We just discussed matters that's supposed to be covered by my testimony. Because I'm a director, I will be testifying. Of course, they will want to know what will be the nature of my testimony. In the same way that when you want to present me as your witness, I will be more than willing to sit down with the defense counsel.
Your Honor, I take exception to that. I don't think Director Matibag knows where I'm going. In fact, I'm moving on to a new point. At any rate, Your Honor, I don't think we are calling him as a witness. So these are facts that only he assumes. No, but I want to say that for the record, Your Honor.
Witness will not argue with the counsel. Kindly
sorry,
move
Your
on.
Honor.
Kindly move on,
Yes,
counsel, for the respondent.
All right. I mentioned Daily Tribune. You write editorials for the Daily Tribune, correct?
Tama po, long time ago po.
Long time ago. And in 2024, you wrote at least 3 editorials about VP Sara. Is that, can you recall?
Mari po, mayroon po akong mga sinulat tungkol
Alright.
kay Vice President.
I'm showing you not that one, the editorials, all right, from the Daily Tribune. And we have copies, hard copies that you can refer to. But it says here, Director Belvin Matibag. Do you confirm that it is you who authored these editorials?
Yes.
All right. Now, I'm showing you the first one entitled Inday Sara, the Bratinela, dated September 12, 2024. Do you confirm that you wrote this editorial?
That's correct in my opinion column.
All right. And you also wrote, the Bratinela is a flat spare tire, dated October 24, 2024. Do you confirm this?
Yes.
All right. And you also wrote, Bratinela Sara and her bad habits, dated November 7, 2024. Do you confirm this?
Yes.
And in these editorials, you shared your opinions against VP Sara. Is that correct?
Well, unang-una po, siguro dun sa title na Bratinela, that is not my original. In fact, kaya ko po nasulat yan, yan ang mismong naririnig ko nang kami magkakasama nila dating Pangulong Duterte na ang tawag niya kay Inday Sara ay Bratinela.
Alright, so my only question is, before you testified today, there were already instances in the past that you shared your public opinions against VP Sara.
Well, that is a opinion column.
Alright.
At meron po tayong mga pinagbabasihan dyan.
Okay, in fact, let me read one line from your editorial. It says there, as Inday Sara is being unmasked in the legislative inquiries and by her own mouth as an ill-bred Bratinela, her public trust crumbles. Do you confirm that you included this statement in your editorial?
Yan po yung nakasulat.
All right. And despite this position, and the recent surveys show that VP Sara was even gained positive trust rating, as shown earlier, a positive 57. Do you confirm this?
Well, again, I'm saying na nung sinulat ko po yan, that is my opinion as an opinion writer.
All right. Now, despite this positive trust rating by VP Sara, do you still maintain that, and I quote, her public trust crumbles?
Well, para sa akin po, na ako yung NBI director, palagi ko po hindi po material itong ating pinag-uusapan sapagkat sabi ko nga, ang ating pong pag-iimbestiga ay nababase sa batas, nababase sa ebidensya at prosesong nandoon na nang ako'y dumating po bilang NBI director.
All right. One last question on this before I let this point go. So considering the positive trust rating of VP Sara, can one really say that she betrayed public trust?
Magkaiba po yan.
Speculative, Your Honor.
What? Can we get a ruling, Your Honor?
Witness is knowledgeable enough to answer. He can handle himself. Director Matibag, you may answer.
Magkaiba po yan. Again, I'm saying, and I'm sure marami rin po rito nakakaalam na umaasa sa mga survey. A survey is just a snapshot of what's happening. It doesn't necessarily follow na pagka yun ang lumabas, ay yun na yung totoo. Pangalawa, pagka po ating pinagbasihan ng popularidad, ang ibig sabihin po ba nito, ang isang pinakakilala at popular na tao pwede lang gumawa ng krimen at hindi natin papapanagutin?
Your Honor, at this point, Your Honor, the defense is constrained to ask for a continuance, and we have our grounds therefore. Number one, Your Honor, the testimony of Director Matibag earlier consisted of a lot of new topics, and it is we believe that it is the right of the respondent to intelligently cross-examine him on those topics. Again, Your Honor, those topics are not included in the articles of impeachment and are considered new. In fact, Your Honor, as earlier stated, we feel like we feel that these two topics are a violation of the respondent's right to be promptly and fully apprised of the exact charges against her. So we will need time, Your Honor, to go through those new materials and new points. Secondly, Your Honor, during direct examination, a 100-page document was introduced and allowed by this court, and that document is unsigned and unnotarized. And we feel like for us to intelligently cross-examine the witness on this document that he mentioned, we need that there's a need. We feel that there's a need for a continuance, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, Director Attorney Matibag, schoolmate.
Good afternoon, sir, Your Honor.
Yeah, just on that point ni Senator Bam, I understand as a law enforcer, as an investigator, you have to take all threats seriously. I'll ask you the same questions I asked the two NBI officers, and I do understand they were not under your supervision during that time dahil dun pa sila kay Director Santiago, no? I won't ask all the questions, but you did review the whole video or just the portions relevant to the statement of the Vice President na no joke, yung November 23.
Your Honor, napanood ko po yung video, but you're correct. I focus mainly on the issue that is being
So
undertaken.
simple question, paano naging process kung anong parts ng video at ng statement niya ang paniniwalaan mo or ng task force? So it's not personal. I mean, if you were in the task force or as you said, you created the task force now at duty nyo yung safety ng high government officials. Anong process nyo kung anong parts ng video ang paniniwalaan nyo at hindi? Ng statements niya, what I meant.
Well, ang ginawa po natin dyan, doon po mismo sa konteksto ng kanyang sinabi na humanap siya ng papatay at inutos niya na papatayin ang tatlong individual at yun po ay pumayag yung papatay at sinabi pa niya no joke, doon pa lamang po ay na pong nakita yung pong ating hinahanap po na mga pwede niyang pananagutan po sa batas.
Well, as an appointee of this government, as a lawyer, as an NBI director, I see your point and I get that. But what I meant is that before that statement, sabi kasi niya, kung papatayin ako, I mean, the record will bear out naman yung eksaktong sinabi niya, no? So this is my paraphrase. But ang pagkaintindi ko sa sinabi niya, kung papatayin ako, eto yung tatlong papatayin mo. And ang impression ko, pinagbibintangan niya yung tatlo na may plot against her. So, yun ang tanong ko dun sa two previous NBI directors. If you're going to believe that she contracted or talked to, may kausap, no? Siya, if you're going to believe that may kausap siya at papapatay yung tatlo, will you not believe the previous nung sinabi niyang kung ako naman ang papatayin?
Hindi po ganon, sapagkat ang tinignan na nga po natin ay yung kanyang mismong pagbabanta. At sa amin po, sa ngayon, yung aking pong task force na nag-iimbestiga, ay malinaw po na ang tinitingnan ay kung ano na ang nangyari dahil doon sa pagbabanta. Okay. At sinasabi nga po namin, dahil po doon sa pagbabanta, ito po ay umabot na, doon na po sa level na ang national security nataya na po, na kompromiso na. Sapagkat marami na pong lumalabas, tuloy-tuloy na pagbabanta. So doon na po natin ito tinitingnan.
Yes. In the same video, she mentioned massive corruption. But wala pa dyan kasi yung mayam kayo speech at flood control investigation. So, same question, Director. Naintindihan ko, yun yung pinaniwalaan nyo. May kausap siya, no joke. Pero ang question ko, paano yung proseso nyo or anong naging thinking nyo na etong papapatay yung presidente, pinaniniwalaan ko, pero etong siya ang papatayin, hindi ko paniniwalaan, at etong graft and corruption, hindi ko rin paniniwalaan. What's the process there?
Well, ang proseso po dyan, ay tinignan naman natin, doon po sa pagbabanta niya, kung sa grave threat po yung pag-uusapan natin, alam naman po natin na yung threat na yan is absolute, dahil nandoon naman po yung elemento eh. Doon naman po sa sinasabi namin na tuloy-tuloy na pag-iimbestiga, dahil ito nga po ay umabot na sa level lang na naapektuhan ng national security, we take into context yung mismong sinabi niya na meron siyang kinausap at yung kanyang kinausap ay pumayag. Yung po kanyang sinasabi na kung papatayin ako, that is supposed to be na statement niya sa aming pong pananaw just to cover yung kanyang pagsasabi na siya may kinausap para patayin ang ating Pangulo.
Okay, I won't argue with you, yun yung proseso nyo. But in the meantime, there were 3 statements, massive corruption, kung papatayin siya, patayin. So, focusing dun sa patayin yung tatlo kung papatayin siya, in the meantime, tumutuo yung yung massive corruption lumabas afterwards, di ba? So, just one other point, at the beginning of the prosecution's questions to you, and I think the defense had a question about what can you investigate. Can you repeat your answer? As the NBI director and the NBI can investigate, did you say all crimes or yung mga crimes?
Lahat po ng mga pumapasok sa amin na mga krimen ay amin pong pwedeng imbestigahan, mutu proprio. Ganon din po yung mga krimen na meron pong nagreklamo na araw-araw na may pumupunta sa aming tanggapan para magreklamo. Ito po yung aming iniimbestigahan. At meron din pong mga iniimbestigahan kami na inutos po ng Department of Justice, and by the very nature under the Constitution po ng Office of the Ombudsman, they can delegate the National Bureau of Investigation to...
So as a general rule, you can investigate any crime motu proprio.
More than the investigation of the crime is also the protection of our nationals. Saka po siyempre, siguraduhin na promote ang ating demokrasya, hindi nakukompromiso.
Yes, but sa investigation lang. So you can investigate any crime.
Tama po.
Yeah. Isn't that against the Republic Act 10867? The statute that gives you power. The act reorganizing and modernizing the National Bureau of Investigation. Sabi dito sa inyong Section 4, the NBI shall have the following powers and functions. Undertake and investigate the detection of crimes and offenses enumerated under Section 5. Section 5, may enumeration, human trafficking cases in all airports, extrajudicial, extralegal killings committed by state security forces against media practitioners' activities, killings of justices and judges, violation of 100175, otherwise known Cyber Crime Act, Prevention Act, cases against Interagency Graft Coordinating Council, and violations of the Anti-Dummy Law. Tapos, cases involving threats, security assaults against persons of the President, Vice President, Senate President, Speaker of the House, Chief Justices. Walang congressman, senators, unlike judges lahat. Transnational crimes pursuant to existing international agreements, identification of dead victims in case of mass fatalities, incidents caused by natural disaster, and violation of commercial, economic, financial, white-collar crimes, nakadyan yung law. So, exclusive yung enumeration. Then, provided, however, if that the President or Secretary of Justice may direct the NBI to undertake investigation of any crime when public interest so requires. So, hindi ba limited ang pwede niyong imbestigahan except that ang DOJ at President ang pwede mag-atas? That's my last question.
Yes. Kindly wind up.
Well,
Witness may answer.
Yes. Yung pong ating listahan na yan, tama po, nandiyan dyan. Subalit, hindi naman po sinasabi na nalilimita dyan ang aming pong pag-iimbestiga. Sapagkat malino po ang mandato ng NBI that we are the primary investigating body. Yun lamang nga po, merong mga kaso, kung ito po ay bumagsak na sa jurisdiction halimbawa ng PNP na kanilang iniimbestigahan, we can still help and coordinate at the same way na kung kami po ay nag-iimbestiga at ang PNP, pwede rin pong tungkol
Well,
po sa amin.
Director, if that's your interpretation, that goes against what they taught us in law school, na pag exclusive yung enumeration, you cannot add. And at the end of the enumeration of Section 5, nakalagay nga dito, however, the President and Secretary of Justice may direct you to undertake investigations of any crime. Why do they have to say any crime if you can do it any crime, if you can investigate any crime after all? It seems that you're expanding your jurisdiction by yourself.
Well, we'll be doing po yan sapagkat we have also our primary role to make sure that law and order is being promoted through the NBI din po.
Senator Cayetano can avail of the second
Sir,
round
yeah, thank you.
later or tomorrow, since I believe